Welcome. My name is Terrell Jones, founder of winningcollege.com and the author of The Fastest Way to Winning College, where we help transitioning high school and college students understand success strategies in the areas of academics, psychology, social awareness, and in developing an experience so they can graduate college and get into the career that they love. I mean, if you're if you're like any of us, if you're getting ready to go to college, or if you're already in college, you probably been thinking about some different things that happen. A few different challenges, like, all right, what my major's gonna be, or what school am I gonna go to, or what college is gonna be like, how is it gonna be on my own. If you're already in college, you might be thinking, hey, how am I gonna get these grades up? How am I gonna pass this class? Everything from my roommate is psychotic. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with them. So how I'm gonna deal with this professor. Professor's boring. You got a million things running through your head. Well, anyway, I'm here to be your savior today because I'm going to give you 3 keys that's going to be able to propel your college career forward. If you implement these 3 keys, you're going to be able to make yourself more successful throughout the college journey, and you're going to be able to deal with less stress. All right. I mean, just a little bit about myself. I didn't even know I was going to go to college. I came from an environment where on a daily basis, I'm seeing everything from drug addicts to prostitution to gangs to violence, fights. It's just an environment that didn't promote college. So luckily I had a cousin who was interested in going to college. So I said, hey, maybe I should go to college. So that kind of got me out of that environment, which was good. But then I left one jungle, then I came into a whole nother jungle, a whole new beast that I didn't know nothing about. Luckily, I had another cousin who dropped me off at college, drove me down there to VA, but kind of kicked me out the car like, do this, hold it down. So I didn't really know what to do. Well, anyway, my first 2 years, I was kind of in the fog, didn't really know, what to do. Didn't really know how this college thing worked, but I was making it through. I mean, I didn't have the best grades, or I wasn't the most popular on campus or nothing like that, but I was kind of just making it through. And there were some things throughout there, luckily, fortunately, that I unconsciously did that helped me along the way. But it really wasn't until my junior year where I was like, I need to make some money. I don't know what I need to do. So somebody approached me with a network marketing opportunity. So I said, hey, why not join, right? And then I specifically remember coming back from a conference, long drive, coming from Oklahoma, and 8 of us packed in a small Jeep. And I remember sitting there, we listening to like audios the whole time, personal development. And I remember my mentor, Jim Rohn, saying you can suffer from one of 2 disciplines. He said the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I remember thinking about that for the rest of the trip, like pain of discipline or the pain of regret. All right, so he's saying I can either do what I can, and go through the pain and get to what I want, or if I don't do it, I'll regret. And I made a decision during that car ride that for the rest of my life, I'm gonna live with the pain of discipline, because I don't ever want to regret anything in my life. And really, from that point on, I kind of just started doing things with a purpose now, and started doing things, consciously, and that kind of what propelled me to really start making my college journey, the rest of my college journey, more impactful in my life. So, so I mean, that was just really me, and I had a hunger for learning. Well, today I'm going to give you 3 of the things that I did really unconsciously at first, and started putting it into play more after my junior year. But if you can immediately implement these things and have a sense of urgency with it, you'll do great. Okay. All right. So the very, very, very first tip is know your why. Why do you want to know your why? Because when times get hard, you need something that's going to keep you going. You're going to have a whole different discipline if your why is, I grew up with my grandmother, and I need to do something. I need to get a good career for my grandmother so I can take care of the family, as opposed to I'm just going to school because my parents made me go to school. One of them is gonna make you want to get up in the morning. you know. So you got to have that why, and especially when times get hard, you got to think about, hey, who am I doing this for? You know, I know for myself, I was doing it for my mother. I was doing it for my grandmother. I grew up half my life with my grandmother, half my life with my mom, and you know, I knew I wanted to do something for them. You know, I know I wanted to help them out, and then also, you know, really just having that why is that's kind of be your skill, your backbone, your motivation to help you keep going. All right, so that's the first tip. The second tip that I'm gonna give you is crucially important, and I did this unconsciously, but it helped me out tremendously, and it's getting to know your professors. I don't know how important I can emphasize to you this is, because getting to know your professors is gonna help you. It's gonna help you get through the course easier, and it's gonna be certain times where it's gonna pay off that your professor knows you. Like for myself, you know, I mean, there's been times where I had to hand in homework late. I may have came in late for a test. I may need to do some extra credit. I might need to speak to my professor outside of office hours. And without your professor really knowing you and know who you are, they're not going to be willing to kind of bend the rules a little bit for you, you know. So, all right, so how do you get to know your professor? You got to do things like raise your hand in class. You don't have to, you know, do things, go to the office hours. You don't have to, you know, participate in any kind of online forums. You don't have to talk to them after class. Do different things like that so your professor gets to know you, all right? So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, vitally important, one of the most essential foundations to college success, which is getting internships. Really what it's about is getting experience. And so many people are having so much trouble today getting jobs, and you hearing that it's, you know, it's a recession and nobody hiring, and what, it's people out here that's doing good. And the reason why either you or someone that you know, I'm pretty sure you know someone who's saying they can't get a job or whatever, and they actually went to college, is because they didn't do the necessary things during college to get the experience and get the internships that they needed. You know, I get this all the time. Now, how am I supposed to? I'm trying to apply for the job, but they said I need experience. How am I gonna get experience if I can't get the job? You know, and unfortunately, it's like that because everybody got a bachelor's degree nowadays, right? So now they're looking at what else you have. You got to get that experience during your undergrad, you know. So that's very important. All right. So how do you get internships? How do you get experience? If anything from going to your college career office to, you know, finding. I don't care if you got to work in a hospital. I don't care if you got to go to an IT company, or you got to go to a school or whatever. And if you could give your time for free just to get the experience, do that, because it's going to position you differently than somebody else who's just coming in with a degree trying to get hired. So, you know, so those are the 3 tips that you can go out and immediately implement. You know, if you like what you heard today, definitely I want you to subscribe to the page, and, you know, definitely, you know, like us on Facebook. And, you know, if you have any specific or personal questions, you know, you could definitely, you know, go to the comment section and then post your comments to me, and I will personally respond to them. All right. So, so that's what I have for you today. So enjoy and make your college journey amazing, and enjoy it, because these are the best years of your life.